Last month, Mr. Chairman, we once again lost two high-profile artists with the death of Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain, both of whom were at the pinnacle of their respective careers. Shortly after their tragic news, the CDC issued a mortality and morbidity report showing dramatic increases in suicide rates in nearly every state in the country. According to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, suicide takes 45,000 Americans each year, with over 123 suicides per day. These numbers are growing. We have to act now. My amendment increases funding for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline by $20 million, which has not seen an increase in funding in years despite this crisis. This investment will provide desperately needed funds to fortify local crisis centers that intake calls, especially those experiencing high no-answer rates. It will fortify backup centers that intake calls that local centers are unable to answer. It will provide stipends to crisis centers not receiving state funds to help defray rising costs, and it will provide additional support to Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands in response to rising suicide rates following last year's hurricanes. My amendment also increases the Garrett Lee Smith Suicide Prevention Campus grants by an additional $10 million. The CDC reports suicide is the second leading cause of death among people between 15 to 24 years of age. This will help more institutions of higher education expand access to services and resources for students who are experiencing depression, mental illness, substance abuse, or suicidal ideas. The amendment also increases funding to the American Indian Alaska Native Suicide Prevention Program by $5 million. Mr. Chairman, as I'm sure you're well aware, suicide rates within our tribal communities have reached crisis levels. This will provide more resources that will begin to address this epidemic. Now, to address my Republican colleagues' concerns, these programs are offset. My amendment pulls $20 million from the Charter School Grant Program and $15 million from the Abstinence-Only Education Program, both of which received increases in the Chairman's mark. I hope that we can all agree that saving lives should be our top priority. Mental health issues, depression, and suicide are growing in prevalence, and the federal government is not addressing this looming threat with the attention that it requires. The American people need our help. This amendment will save lives, and I urge my colleagues to support this amendment.